William, are you there?
I'm here.
Are we here?
I think we're here. Are we ready?
We're ready. Give us
Oh,
that
well,
announcement.
fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the unofficial show with William B, and Mrs. D.
Hi, everyone. Good to be
Hey,
back this
guys.
week.
Welcome to
William,
the show. How's it going?
where were you last week?
Oh, where was I? Where were you? Okay, I'm going to turn this around. I've been gone twice. This is natural for me. People are like, oh, William's gone. No biggie. What about you? Where were you?
Life came about last
Mhm.
week.
Mm,
Yeah, we had some out of town visitors with us.
That's
So
fair. That's fair. Well, it's good to have you back. Yeah, because I was clearly here. I was just here alone.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But I'll take your word for it.
I appreciate you taking my word for it. That's all I got.
All right. So what's up on our show today?
Well, we got a couple of different things. I think we're starting off with. Do we want to discuss the idea of we were floating? Remember the giveaway, and then going into like a different little, like a little hunt thing.
Yes. So this is going to be a little teaser because it's not quite ready yet, but
Hmm,
we've come up with an idea for our giveaway.
we have.
We
So, what
have,
kind of teaser you want to give? Is that all? Is that all we want to do, or we want to get a little more?
let's say, hmm,
Maybe just bilingual.
you
Just
could win your very own Koby and Momo doll by answering some scavenger hunt questions about our unofficial show.
and they're going to be questions that I don't even know the answers to. So, good luck.
I don't even know the questions yet. But that's our plan. That's what we've come up with. We just need to develop that. And that's how you're going to win your Koby and Momo dolls. Okay. The first one with the correct answers will win their Koby and Momo dolls. So Athena is here. Are you in on that, Athena?
Am I in on what? Trying to win something?
Yeah. Oh, you were there for a second, but now you're muted. So
Yes, because if you hold the space bar down, you got to hold it down the whole time.
That's fair.
I didn't even know you could hold the space bar. Anyway,
Yeah.
are you in on that, on the scavenger hunt?
Well, there's no reason for me to. I mean, it would be fun, but I just ordered like
Did
my
you order
own
them?
from
Yeah.
Kelly. So yeah,
That's fair.
let's give it to somebody who didn't.
All right. All right. So
Totally
if
valid.
you are interested in a Koby and Momo doll, you haven't had the opportunity to order them from Kelly yet. Watch out for those scavenger hunt details coming up soon. And if you want to order them from Kelly, you can do that too. They cost about $60 for the pair, give or take, depending on what the shipping costs are. And they take a long time. So you have to be patient.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah. And if you need to know who Kelly is, just send me a message or
Yeah,
William. But I don't know
we
that
can
he
do
knows.
that.
You know?
I'll do my best to find out.
I could probably tell you.
Well, there's like 10 Kellys in the company. So at some point, you're just going to.
She's super popular.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 Kellys that are super popular. But either way, I'm ready for this. I got my Clark Kent curl going on here. Specialized.
Yeah. I love the Clark Kent curl.
Thank you. I'm like Superman in disguise. Qkids teacher by morning, but Superman by day. Anyway, so anyways.
By day. And you have a white cape instead of a red one.
And my cape has Qkids on it. Boom.
The Qkids Superman.
Oh,
Q-Man to the rescue.
Hire me, Qkids. Make it work. I'll be. I'm sorry. Anyways, so
I can be your faithful sidekick.
In the news this week.
In the news this week.
Are we doing Qkids news first or news?
We have a ton of Qkids news.
So we don't do general news first?
General news. General news is always not as fun.
So we should probably wrap up, or not wrap up. We should do the sad news first and then super excited news next. So I got this. All right.
Yeah.
In general news today, as you guys may or not be aware, there's a serious problem on the West Coast right now. And I live on the West Coast. So there's fires everywhere. It's got to the point where literally when I wake up in the morning, or actually, sorry, not when in the evening-esque, you look outside and the whole sky is orange. That's kind of wild. I'm in Washington myself, so we don't have it as bad as California, but it's kind of strange. Sky shouldn't be orange.
No.
What side of the mountain are you on?
I'm sorry?
What side of the mountain are you on?
That's a good question. You see, the also thing is I recently moved to Washington, so I don't have those details yet.
Okay, so tell me where you're like generally at, and I can tell you.
I'm in Bellingham, which is like what, an hour away from Seattle? I'm
You're
pretty close to
on
Canada.
you're on the safe side of the mountain.
Yeah, there we go.
Good. That's good. I know some of our teachers are pretty close if they haven't been affected already. And not just Qkids teachers. I'm sure ESL teachers and teachers, just people everywhere
Yeah,
have been
I
affected by this.
I'm in a pretty luxurious place where I'm in the liberty of being safe for that. The worst I have is looking at the sky and seeing the alteration to the color, or like a smoky. It kind of looks like fog, but it's smoke, right? That's just from our local one, I think. But I couldn't only imagine what it looks like in California. If we could have a California teacher tell us about that, that'd be wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And
But
the
anyway, stay
worry
safe,
too of
friends.
people who are close to the area or have family and friends that are being affected. So, I mean, it's rough, and we are thinking of you guys. So that's that news.
That's
So
that
let's
news.
move on from that.
All right, take it away, Mrs. D. In Qkids news this week.
Qkids news this week is crazy. All right, so there was a little bit of discussion on our last week's video about those minimum hour requirements, and there hasn't been, as far as I know, an official announcement about those hours, but I did message Qkids on Facebook and ask them directly, and they confirmed that there are no minimum hours, and it seems that more people are getting feedback from their coaches or from CCT that there are not minimum hours. So I believe that those minimum hour requirements are gone.
Okay, so a lot of circumstantial evidence working in our favor here. Then I like it.
Yes.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Honestly, though,
Okay.
in the past, minimum hours haven't been enforced too heavily, so that's always been a little luxury that we have either way.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think if you can't work the minimum hours, but you're still really interested in remaining a Qkids teacher or becoming a Qkids teacher, definitely reach out and look for more information on it.
Yeah, because the way I see it, any type of work helps the company, right? They're always looking for teachers, or they're trying to find the teacher meet the requirements, right? So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. All right. And the fall workshops have begun.
So, hypothetical question. Let's
Yeah.
say someone in this room, all right, I don't know who it is, has never attended a workshop before. What would they expect to find if they attended a workshop?
So the workshops are really great. If you go, it's a Zoom meeting that is this time they are open to anyone who would like to go. So you get the notification on your Qkids app, and you choose the time that's convenient for you. Just log into Zoom and you are in the workshop. The workshop is led by trained Qkids teachers, teachers who
Like
have
me.
been selected, like you. Like, I don't know, have you done any workshops facilitating?
No, I haven't done any workshops. I'm just being a punk.
You should, because you have the voice for just like all of this.
I guess that's fair. So,
Okay.
what about you, D? I think, I'm just saying, there's workshops up. Maybe you should go to some, D. Maybe you should.
I have gone to one 2 weeks in a row now.
That's crazy. Why would you go 2 weeks in a row? It's almost like
Different topics.
you have the knowledge to instruct a workshop.
Oh, yes. I do. I have been known to facilitate the occasional workshop. But
that's fair though.
I have also I've been attending as a learner, because there's always something to learn too. So I attended the phonics workshop, and I attended just this week. I attended it was a personal reflection workshop, kind of getting some tools and tips and ideas on how to personally reflect on your teaching, which I am like a huge fan of, because we can always learn from our teaching and from others' teaching and from ideas and things like that. I'm just thinking about, well, what was it about that lesson that went well or didn't go well?
Yeah, and good point.
So today is actually the last day of that workshop.
Okay. Do you know what workshop's coming next, or is that not on the horizon yet?
I don't know.
That's okay. It'll be a surprise
They usually just pop out a message saying, "Hey guys, this is what's up this week." I do know.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think that it was said that most every week in September there will be something. Generally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday timeframes.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah. This is a random tangent. I apologize for it, but I figure I should just start having a random background every time we do one of these. Just a new one every time.
That would be cool. See, and we can start doing more scavenger hunts. And one of the questions could be like, name William's past 3 backgrounds.
Oh, that would be.
You
that'd
could
be
do an I Spy. You could do an I Spy.
Oh, that's maybe even better than that. I
a
spy
solid idea.
San Francisco. Where'd you see
Mhm.
San Francisco?
There we go. There we go. Okay, so anyways, what's next on the horizon? Night hours?
Night hours. Are you working at night?
Am I working at night?
Yeah.
No, I
No.
don't even. I've been out of it these past couple of weeks, but I am doing early morning hours for my fixed students. What about you? Have you been doing evening hours? Night
No,
hours?
no evening hours. There aren't any more evening hours.
When did they go away? Do you know?
Last week?
They
There
were-
are evening hours, Athena? When are
I
they?
do evening hours on the weekend. There's no
Friday,
evening
Saturday.
hours
Oh,
during
gotcha.
week, but on the weekends they're still there
Yeah.
because the kids are at home.
Yeah, that's a great
Yes, so we've
clarification.
always had Friday and Saturday evening hours. Those are standard hours, so that will be all year. So I guess maybe I should clarify that when I say evening hours, I'm specifically meaning those like peak times where we get extra hours.
That's a good point. For people who are
Yeah.
like, what? My classes on Friday and Saturday are gone? No.
No, our regular major course evening hours for peak times, which would be Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, those are not happening right now. So those are not available at this time.
Aw, bummer.
When do we see those come back?
Ah.
Normally.
Normally they come back a brief period. I trying to remember. Did it come back for Christmas season last year? Did it, right?
I believe so.
I believe so. I want to say yes, but I've been with the company for like 4 years now, so it all blurs together.
Plus we had like 6 months of extra evening hours. So I don't
Oh yeah,
remember like
that threw things off too. I
so
was
now
so
we're like all
exhausted
crazy. Yeah.
those months. Like, could you?
So honestly, I suggest that our teachers
Uh-huh.
take this opportunity to kind of recuperate from the last 6 months.
That's a good point.
You know?
Yeah, because if
Some
you're
of
doing
us
like
have been
50
working
classes
crazy.
plus a week, it gets to you. Like you may be infallible, but at some point, even the best have to fall down and like take a chance to rest, right? You saw those teachers who did 100+ classes when when it was all extended. Insane. I couldn't. I
couldn't.
didn't even. Okay, sorry. We gotta go next. I'm just.
Good kudos to them because there was a need. There was a need,
Yeah.
and there are certain people who can do that, but I haven't channeled that inner gamer in me since I had kids. So I can't run those kind of marathons anymore. I'm like,
No, that's fair. I even have kids and I couldn't run those marathons. Okay. So, anyways, what was next?
What'd you learn to do just before the show? Did you do it?
What did I learn to do? Oh, yeah. Yeah, with the app.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. That was crazy. Okay, if you're not aware, right, there's been a newly updated Qkids app, and the old one still functions and works, but the new one is looking clean. Like I give it a 9.2 out of 10. I'm sorry, you don't get the other 0.8, but you get a 9.2 out of 10, and that's pretty clean. What do you think about it? Have you got a chance to look at it?
I have looked at it a little bit. I haven't had a chance to really delve into it. The things that I noticed immediately were that we can now see whatever feedback tags we've gotten are also showing up on this app now.
It's nice.
So you can see your green tags on there.
Pretty sure the days with Qkids on it is incorrect, but I don't even worry about that.
Yes, that is incorrect.
Am I saying like 600? I definitely have way more than 600.
So if you go to the Me button, and then you go to lesson details, this is where I've seen the most changes so far. You can see that these are your classes that you've completed, which we've never seen on here before. And then what you see, if you have the ability to see this, I don't know, is here. Let's see if it'll show up.
Again, starting there, yeah.
You see that? Feedback.
Yeah, feedback.
So I got 2 tags on that particular class, and we can see what they were there for. Also on this side here, I should just connect and share my screen, but that might take too long.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
okay.
you can edit your evaluations that you sent in.
Guys, hear that? You can send an evaluation. You're like, you know what? I forgot how to spell the word cupcake, and I put like cupquake. I better fix that so I don't look like a fool.
I was still sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, we are working at like 4 a.m. sometimes, so
Yeah.
you know it's natural. But you can check that out later on when you're more awake. Be like, did I do this valuation correct? Because I don't want to look like a fool. They're paying me to teach English, and that's probably important.
So also all my certifications are now listed on here as well. We never saw those, weren't listed before. And now we can see them on our app.
Yeah.
And our experience and things like that. That's
I
listed
also
there.
like the calendar.
And our time slots.
There's a lot going on in the calendar, but I do like it.
The calendar's nuts. It's just, that's a little overwhelming. You can see a lot of squares on there.
I was like low key hoping, obviously connects are like, oh, possible future. That'd be wild.
Yeah, that's a lot of squares.
I'm intimidated now. Let's move on.
Okay, and I haven't looked at the home. Let's look at home. And so we did see on home, now you can see those notifications that we're getting in the app. We're
Mhm.
now able to see them in the home on our phones as well. We weren't getting those on our phones, but now we are able to.
That's
So
nice.
that makes me wonder, can we see our like
She's going off script.
I am going off script. All right, we've got it back on script because we are on time. We aren't.
What are you doing, D?
All right. I was wondering if we could see like our stars, our feedback,
That'd be a good
our
point.
weekly feedback. We hadn't been able to see that on the app. No, we can see that on the app. We can't see it on the teacher app. Okay. What do we have about this notification about the hours? You want to elaborate on that point? That's on script.
Oh, right. It is on script. That was the thing where certain teachers, not certain, like a bunch of teachers, say a good general population, got a notification messaging. I don't think it's about the hours. I think it's about the cancellation of classes, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A message just what was it? Do you have a better idea than just the message? I think it was like a just kind reminder, like to please schedule the classes and attend the class instead of all, take 30 and then canceling 25, right?
Yes. Yes. Well, it was not quite worded that way.
Okay, that's fair. I just off the top of my head, I was like, let's go.
Yeah. If you give me about 2 seconds, I think
I will hold you to that.
You and I had this
One,
conversation last week,
two.
didn't we?
we did. We had
And
a
I
little.
was like, oh, I know everything. And you're like, let's check on that.
Okay.
Like a newbie would know.
All right. I cannot find it now. There is a post in House of Q today
Okay.
that addressed that there was some notification that went out, right?
Mhm.
And it's basically kindly reminding teachers, canceling a little bit too much.
Yeah, and in general, it's the idea that it's a kind of a luxury right now and a privilege for us, and it's
Yes.
really nice, and I like it a lot. But it's one of those things that if it's overexploited, then for sure, as a business practice, it doesn't make sense for Qkids to keep it, right? Because if teachers sign up for 30 classes, then they could keep 25 classes off every week with no repercussions. Then that becomes a problem for their business line. I can imagine how the standby teachers, you guys are going. You guys are the real MVPs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And let me just, as somebody who has experienced other companies and their policies, we really do have a good thing here at Qkids. And I would really hate to see anything happen to that because we just open total availability and then have to cancel a lot of stuff. So if you have a general idea of what you can work, it's better to open that general idea. And we're not saying don't cancel because we know life comes up and I cancel, I'm not saying that, but just be aware that there's scheduling things that are happening here and there,
Yeah.
And so when someone every week is opening, and I do think that that ends up getting flagged eventually, that there is an algorithm and the algorithm is automatic. There's
That's
no
a scary
human.
word.
There's no human back there controlling the algorithm. It's all programmed. And so
Yeah.
there's things in there like, okay, so if this happens, this is the result. And it's already programmed.
Another
So
thing is that, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no. So I'm just saying, like, if you think that there's no algorithm that if this person if this user cancels X amount of classes, then their schedule is restricted. I think that would
Maybe.
kind of.
If you, yes, go ahead, Athena.
Okay, since we had talked about this last week, I did go ahead and reach out to CCT because I ended up with another migraine. And I'm like, I need to check on this. You know, it is
Uh-huh.
still the 5 hour ahead of time, but I know that I have a migraine right now. I know how long it's going to take. I'm going to go ahead and request this times off. They said that instead of doing that, go ahead and do it off. Like go back into the app and request those times off. She said, but only do it like don't do it too often
That's
because
what,
I was
yeah.
concerned. And so she
Yeah.
says, don't be too concerned as long as it doesn't happen too often. I said, do I need to go ahead and just request time ahead of time? She said, no, don't do that. Just make sure it doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I was going to mention that if you must take your classes off, earlier is better, right?
Yeah.
Don't wait till last minute. The like if you see Sunday and you're like, oh my goodness, I forgot I got to do a vacation like that. If you request off, it's much easier for them to fill those classes or plan for replacements than if you were like, okay, every like night at 12, off. Anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can move on then.
Yeah.
What do we have next?
That's it. What do we have next?
I
Let's
got distracted.
see.
This is what I do. I get it. Oh, teaching stuff. This is where you take over, Mrs. D.
Let's where I take over. Oh no.
I'll just.
All right. So I wanted to talk about extensions.
Uh-huh.
Extensions. Yes, we do have. I don't find that we have any lessons that we shouldn't be able to make last the time. Okay. Because we have to be pros at extending. Okay.
Okay.
And altering activities in order to make them different, target a certain problem that we might be seeing, or even just give them extended practice with the target language and make it go to the 28 minutes that we have to make it
But
to.
D, by extension, do you mean free talk?
I don't mean free talk. I don't mean free talk.
Why is that?
Because yes, free talk has a place in language acquisition and in ESL learning. It's
Mhm.
unfortunately doesn't have a place in Qkids because they're very specific on the target language. So parents are choosing classes based on what is going to be learned in that class, right?
Good point.
So if we're just free talking about the ice cream social we had the other day and the movie we saw after it, great practice for English. I'm not saying it doesn't have its place. It doesn't really flow with the Qkids method of doing things.
All right,
If we
that's
want to
fair.
spend a couple of minutes on the introduction screen or a couple of minutes on the leaderboard doing that, it's okay. But I mean like 2, 3, maximum 5.
Maximum 5.
Maximum 5. Because there's different programs that offer free talk. Okay, these are very structured lessons. So what I like to do for extensions is to watch the clock as I'm running through a class. If we see that we have 11 slides, we know that each slide has like a 2.5 minute window. Okay. 3 if you really get your introduction and the slide 1, if you do section 1 fairly well and you get off of there quickly, you can have 3 minutes per slide all the way to the end of it. So when you're doing that, just keep an eye on it and then make adaptations in that specific section. So I always go through vocabulary one time. Tell me the word. What is it? What is it? What is it? And they tell me the word, right? Then we go back and we do an extension with a sentence prompt. Okay. He is running on the beach. So then they have to make a full sentence and that will draw your time out a little more, right? So having them make sentences is always super good. And also practicing grammar. So we practice the past tense of the things once we get to the upper levels. And we practice make sure we're using the S on the verb if it's in he, she, it. And we can bring attention to those things in those shorter lessons. Take the opportunity, seize that time to actually teach, right?
And what kind of levels are we looking at here? Because I know each level has different presentation. That advice is pretty general for every level. It's good no matter what. But in particular, we've addressed levels 1 and 2 already, right?
Yes, we have. So level 3 is today.
Oh, whoops, I jumped the gun. All right, all you go ahead. You got this.
Parroting level is over. Parroting level is over. Parroting level is over.
You said it's over.
parenting level is over.
So my thing here is that at level 3, they're like done repeating for some reason. I've noticed a lot. I've noticed this
Okay.
a lot. Maybe I would like everybody to kind of take a look and see if you have more struggle getting them to repeat things that you want them to at level 3.
Yeah,
Like
you know, the more I think about it, you're right. Level 3 around a point where they're just like, nah, I don't want to repeat after you, teacher. I've got my own
find,
things
like,
to do.
they're super confident and they just start going. Like they know, like, oh, I got this. I don't need to parrot you. I'm just going, right? And they're talking away a mile a minute. But of course, we're still making a lot of grammar errors in level 3,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I literally, it's like, I don't know if I don't have 2 flags here, but this will do. I have to be like, whoa, 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 guys, stop. He goes. He goes. And that's what like level 3 is.
I
For
want to
me
be
a
in
lot.
Dee's class now. Can you just hold a mock class for 4Qkids teachers? We'll all be students and
That would be so much fun.
we'll just make it miserable.
What if we all dressed up and we're the bottom of a Zoom screen?
Yeah.
That's what we
You
should
just-
do.
And we'll show up like this.
We need volunteers for this. We need volunteers for this. Okay. All right. What else do I have for level 3? So towards the end of level 3, because we are constantly slowing them down and correcting that language and getting them to do better, towards the end of level 3, what you're going to see is that they actually, if you give them the opportunity, they will start to self-correct. They will. But the most important part of that is that we have to give them the opportunity. We have to give them that wait time.
I agree. I have nothing more to input there. That's well spoken. Well done.
Okay. And the silent stage, let me just talk real quick about that and then we're going to wrap it up today.
Okay.
The silent stage is a perfectly normal part of language acquisition. So you might see a student who is just sitting there and he looks engaged. He or she looks very engaged in the lesson, but you're noticing that they're not producing a lot of language. And you can see that there's not a confused look on their face. So it's not that they're not getting it, it's that they're absorbing. And this is a really common and completely normal stage of language development. It's the silent stage, and it's okay. So if you can't get them to speak, it's okay. Just give them the opportunity, try, and then we go on and move on to the next student because they are learning. They're just learning it in a silent stage. Like I can say things so much better in my head than when I open my mouth. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but especially in Spanish, especially like it sounds perfect in Spanish. And then I open my mouth and it's like, oops. That didn't sound the same as what was in here.
No, I understand you. I hear someone's voice. I'm like, I can, mimic their voice, and I don't even get remotely close. Like, why did I think I could do that? Anyways, though.
I need to do some more listening so that I go into the silent stage. I don't know. Can you guys imagine me being silent? Anyways, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining the show with William B. and Mrs. D. This is episode. What episode is this?
6.
Episode 6, and we're happy you came. Join us next week at the same time for for new information and updates.
Bye, everyone. Thanks
Bye,
for
guys.
coming.
Bye.